What's happening, y'all? Welcome in to a brand new episode of Snaps. It is October 22nd. What? Time is flying by. This is Snaps. I hope it's your favorite college football podcast. Look at Goat Dog. He says, cool sports podcast to argue with your mammy. I agree, Goat Dog. And everyone knows you can trust a man named Goat Dog. I'm TBob Preview. He is Aaron Murray. Aaron, with the all the way buttoned up polo day. You're looking slim and trim though, dude.
I like all the way. Is it?
No, it's almost all the way. I like thick Aaron from college, dude.
Oh God, those cheeks. Did you send me that picture? Where did we get that?
No, yeah, I don't know. Chunky. For some reason, I have a picture of your mom, you and your mom, and your mom's a babe.
Like, what?
But you look thick as well. I thought you sent it to me. I don't know. I'm very confused.
No, I think I posted it for a happy birthday to my mom, and then you screenshot it and sent it to me. And said, "I want to bang your mom."
Well, okay, whoa. No need to completely peel back the curtain. And also, if we are,
but everyone knows how I feel about your mom. So
that's what I was going to say. We should let the people know, in case anybody's new around here. This is a reciprocal banging of the moms.
What? But I think your mom truly would bang me. I don't know if my mom would bang you. If I'm going to be honest, your mom likes me. She really does like me.
Your mom doesn't want to get thrown around a little bit? She doesn't like big guys?
Well, my dad is a big guy. My dad's like 6'3", and he's fuzzy too. So.
Okay, so it actually sounds like I'm your mom's exact type. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm your mom's exact type, Jewish.
And quarterback. I mean, QB1. You know? QB1. I mean, QB1. Like, she dated my old man from college. QB1.
She married your old man, but more
let's do a little, you know how there's like wife swap? Let's do a mom swap. Where it's a new reality show. Adam says it's actually making me uncomfortable. Very inclusive friendship. That's a good way of putting it. Anyway, what's up, guys? Huge thank you for being with us today. Huge thank you for 26K, dude. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Slowly but surely, the road to 27 starts now. River with a A says, lineman from Southern Cal drove by LSU on the way to work the hurricane last week and was in awe. Never knew how close it was to the Mississippi. Louisiana's awesome. Oh, that's really cool, man. Now, I thought you meant lineman like offensive lineman, but what he means there, Aaron, is the offensive lineman of the civilized world, which are the electrical linemen that help get power back up whenever shit hits the fan. I always love that they're called linemen because they are literally doing the most thankless job, where everybody else is out there like you getting all the glory, QB1, getting to stay at home during the hurricane, hang out, have drinks, bang girls.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing during
no to be clear, in this metaphor, I too am one of the privileged skill positions. I'm like a wide receiver. I'm out here like smashing beers, playing chess and stuff. But while we're doing that, relaxing, staying safe, River and all the other linemen are putting it on for society out there grinding to get power back up, dude. That's what I'm talking about, man. I absolutely love that. Yeah. Who is the hotter mom? I mean, see, that's tough because nobody wants to call their mom. Like, I want my mom to be the hottest.
My mom's an attractive woman. I'm not going to lie. I mean, how else do you think she made this? I mean, come on now.
See, look, Rob Durden, linemen work all hours of the night to help everyone else. Linemen do not get enough credit. By the way, guys, as far as the sound technical issues go yesterday, we are about 95% positive that was on either YouTube or StreamYard. Because what the fuck is that? We're presenting United Front here, and I'm trying to give a serious announcement, and you just muddy the waters? That's not at all true. We literally discussed after the show how because we can hear each other perfectly, it can't be a hardware issue with any of our mics. Otherwise, I would have been stilting to you and popping to you. It was popping for everyone. Thank you. God, I hate you so much sometimes. Who is the hotter sister? I have two very hot sisters.
Very attractive.
Do you have any sisters, Aaron?
I don't think so, right? I do. I'm younger.
How young?
Actually, we should hook your sister up with my brother.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my sister with your sister. Because
no, God, no.
Actually, one of my sisters will date anybody. You know, she's in a little bit. She's tasted all the
her and Josh
everything that
should
life
hang
has to
out.
offer. No, there is no way that I would let your brother date one of my sisters. Absolutely not. I've seen part of his dating profile. I watched it with a lot of Americans. Hell, Andy used to be my homie back in college. He used to date my best friend, Ryan, the center who was ahead of me. He was like my older brother. I'll never forget it. One day we were in meeting rooms and I'm sitting down. I'm kind of checked out and, used to sit in like depth chart order. So I'm right behind my guy, Ryan Miller. And I'm sitting there and I got my hands on my head like this. I'm sitting there and this man stands up and farts in my face so aggressively that I swear to God, I am not exaggerating. My eyebrows and hair actually moved. Like I could feel the wind on my face. That's how fucking disgusting it was. I almost, I was shocked I didn't have pink eye, but I made it, dude.
And he dated Andy?
Forever. They were like in love in college for years, dude. Yes, for years. Yeah.
Wild times. Times.
And she grew up in my neighborhood in Georgia, I think, or like somewhere. I don't know. Weird connections. Anyway, what's up, guys? This is Snaps. It is Tuesday, which means we are going to preview the upcoming week of ball, and we got a lot to get into today. We're going to break down LSU A&M, Mizzou, Bama, Texas, Vandy, Nebraska, Ohio State, and Illinois, Oregon. Also, guys, please hit the like button, sub to the channel, share it with your friends if you really enjoy it, right? You want to help support the show. Those are great free ways that y'all can help support the show. And we're continuing to work on getting the film up and running and everything. We'll hopefully have some news on that front soon. You don't look very hopeful, Aaron.
I told you the news yesterday. What do you mean?
No, I don't remember that. We talked about it.
Yes.
Fuck, we got to get better about this off-air conversation stuff.
God damn. You just get better at listening.
Okay. Whoa, motherfucker.
We had a full conversation, but
that's not okay. First off, that's not true.
It's very true.
Secondly, you don't listen to me. Anybody who watches the show knows this. Half the time you're zoned out and you just give me like a Guys, we're just lucky that this show is on camera. If this was just audio, Aaron would be swinging a golf club the entire fucking time.
Oh, that's what I do when I would do my serious shows. Yeah.
Yeah. No shit. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So I'm glad we have cameras, so we at least have to keep you somewhat locked in.
Benjamin, by the way, we did cover the Tennessee Bama game. It wasn't on yesterday's video, but Peter Burns and I did a reaction to it Saturday night. So if you do want little Tennessee Bama reaction, go check out that video. Yeah,
I went to do a cutout for it, and he is right. On the Monday show, we kind of touched on it, but we didn't dive like it wasn't in a super structured way. Monday, we were also kind of flying by the seat of our pants. I had just a bunch of weird radio work stuff. I just had to go get chicken nuggets snapped into my mouth and catch them with my mouth because I'm just a big fat fucking dancing clown, Like, in order to support my family, I just have to sit here and act like a fucking idiot 24/7. It's my fault. I chose this. Could have gone into finance. Yep. Could have maybe, I don't know, been a business person. Could have been a teacher even, or a coach or something. Nope. Yeah. Instead, here I am, fucking inflatable pigs on Saturday and getting nuggets snapped into my mouth on Monday. Jesus. Anyway, all right. Let's get into it. Aaron. Oh, and then maybe Thursday, if we don't get to today, we'll do Aaron's top 10 quarterbacks, which I still want to get to, which we had to stop because yesterday's technical difficulties. The Nuggets were good for whatever that's worth. All right. LSU, Texas A&M. Aaron, the playoff Thunderdome is back.
Oh,
2 team enters, 1 team leaves. It's all on the line Saturday night in College Station. As there's only 2 undefeated teams in conference in the SEC, and it's the Aggies and it's the Tigers, and they're gonna be squaring up. I have many thoughts on this game. Yep. I'm also struggling to separate my bias, so I want to start with you. Give me your early read overview of this matchup Saturday night.
I always lean towards quarterbacks first, but anytime you get 2 teams that are very similar, 2 teams that are very talented, I go to the most important position on the field, and that's the quarterback spot. Right now, based on my rankings, which I released yesterday for quarterbacks, and it wasn't a week ranking, it was a entire season up to this point ranking of quarterbacks in the SEC. Garrett Nussmeier is the best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's close right now. And I'm not even
crazy.
saying like he's playing like out of this world Heisman caliber play at the moment. He's playing really good football, like really, really good football. And I don't think everyone else is a significant drop below that. Like the second guy is Pavier for Vanderbilt, and he's playing great football, but not the same level, different styles, all that good stuff, but whatever. So quarterbacks in big time matchups, you have Nussmeier, who's playing great football, and then you have Connor Wegman, who played like shit versus Notre Dame, then played really damn good versus Missouri, and then just played
okay in the third one.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
he had 2 picks.
Yeah, I know.
But I just watched the game. He should have had 5 picks.
I know. It was not good.
Were in the defender's hands, like hit him in the belly, and they dropped him for Mississippi State. So I don't know. This is the conundrum I've talked about with Connor Wegman this season. I don't know what you're going to get. If you get the Missouri game, Connor Wegman, I think A&M wins. If you get the Mississippi State or the Notre Dame Connor Wegman, then LSU will blow them out.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird.
A lot of it does rest on what kind of game Connor Wegman plays. Because like I like A&M's offensive line. I love Le'Veon Moss. I like their defense. You like a lot about them. I just can't trust him. And for that, I kind of lean a little bit towards LSU.
So tell me if you would agree with this. I think the spot absolutely favors Texas A&M.
Yes.
LSU is coming off, 2 conference road games in a row, which I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that's it's kind of a gambling thing that a lot of people factor into their equation when they're picking games. Like second conference games in a row, teams tend to be a bit tired. They tend to make you struggle a bit. It's something that I put into the math when we were thinking about Ole Miss having to come to Death Valley right after going to Lexington. So the spot favors A&M. They're at home. It's LSU's second conference game in a row. A&M's playing very confidently right now. I do think, though, that LSU looks like the more complete team on film. Like on a neutral site, I would favor LSU.
Yes.
It's just the power of that stadium at night and the fact that LSU hadn't won there since 2018. 2020, A&M kicked their ass. 22, LSU beats Alabama. It looks like they're going to be awesome. And then they go and Devon Achane and that offensive line just run all over them. A&M beats them. Of course, excuse me, haven't won there since 2016 because 2018 was the 7 overtime game. And so it's been a while. That has been a place that has given LSU a lot of trouble. And the other thing is, this is still a young LSU team in a lot of spots. Like you mentioned Garrett Nussmeier playing the best, and that's crazy because this is Garrett Nussmeier's first year starting.
Yeah.
Like this is
a lot of football, but yes.
Well, yeah, yes and no.
Yeah.
Like he played the bowl game. He played that SEC championship. He got some snaps. And he's been in college for a while, but he hadn't like played a lot before this season.
Yes.
So the point is, young team, and there's so much on the line. I want to see if LSU can handle the pressure. Because make no mistake, Aaron, whoever wins this game is in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. Definitely for a trip to Atlanta. They're going to have a very good chance of pulling off that. And with that, a potential spot in that 12-team playoff. Something that I don't know that either fan base has really allowed themselves to really hope for yet. I think they've fantasized about it, but they've never really given themselves over to that fantasy quite yet.
Well, I think part to do with the remaining schedule for both teams still have some pretty big games on the schedule, especially for A&M. So does the coaching play into it all in your mind? Like I know we talked a little bit about earlier on the season, Brian Kelly to me has always been like a top 5 coach, but you start losing games and you lost to USC to start the season, and USC now doesn't look like a great football team. And we started questioning like, how good is Brian Kelly? But this is still year 3. You're seeing the progress as a football team. You're seeing now with Baker at defensive coordinator, how that defense has improved each and every week this season to become, as you alluded to, this complete football team that can throw the football, that can run the football, that can play defense, that can get turnovers, that can stop the pass. not a lot of holes with LSU, but you could say the same thing a little bit about A&M too from what we've seen this year. But going to the coaching matchup, how would you kind of determine that one?
I mean, whatever. Obviously all my.
Do you think it's a major advantage LSU?
I was going to say, obviously, all my opinions are tinged with bias here because I cover one team so in depth. I don't know about major. I would say unadvantage. I think Elko is really good. If you listen to the show, you know that I've been a big fan of A&M hiring Elko. I think it's exactly what they needed in terms of bringing toughness and a better culture to that program. I just think in Brian Kelly, you do have one of the winningest head coaches of all time. Like what do we keep talking about with Brent Venables? There's nothing to fall back on to make yourself feel good about where Oklahoma's going to go for here. Like Kelly has proven, even in his tenure at LSU, his teams get better as the year goes on. And that improvement here recently has been pretty striking to see firsthand. So, but look, I think A&M's way better under Mike Elko. Again, the toughness, the culture, the buy-in, the work ethic, all of that. I would give a slight advantage coaching wise to LSU though. Also, I really like the $10 million LSU spent hiring Blake Baker, hiring Bo Davis, hiring Kevin Peoples, Corey Raymond, Jake Olson. The defensive staff makeover is really starting to pay some dividends. As think about Aaron, so I think the key to stopping A&M is obvious. Stop the run and put it in Connor Wegman's hands.
Yes. If
you do, I think that is a awful recipe for Texas A&M. Look at the Notre Dame game. He threw it 30 times. Okay. That's kind of too much. Like if they're over 30 throws, that's probably a bit of a winning recipe for LSU. And then you look at LSU defense that just shut down Ole Miss's run and shut down Arkansas's rushing attack. And those are the two tops in the league along there with Tennessee. So it's like, if you could do that, can you do it again this weekend against a more, this is a different attack. It's a pro style. This is like a pro style running attack out of shotgun.
And it's a very, you know what, A&M? A&M's a very good rushing attack. Right now, number 2 in the SEC. This is against FBS teams, 200 yards per game. The only team that's rushing more than A&M at the moment is Tennessee.
Okay, so excuse me. Okay, so I was a little wrong then. Ole Miss and Arkansas right behind A&M then. So they took out number 3 and 4. Yep. Now they're going for number 2. Third week in a row. Think about that. Third week in a row facing one of the top rushing teams in the SEC.
And then flipping over to LSU, I mean, I would still love, so Caden Durham's had what, 2 100-yard plus games in the past 3 games.
Yeah.
I would love for them to keep that going a little bit, running the football, get him going. But that, you know, I still trust if Garrett has to throw the football 40 plus times, I trust him and these receivers still to get that done.
Yeah, well, it's because he's had to this year at times, right? Like he's averaging 40 attempts a game.
Yeah.
Right now.
So I think if it does become a passing football game, major advantage to LSU, but the question is still going to be, can LSU stop the run?
Yes, I agree. It's a good run. I think A&M's left tackle looked awesome on film, and I watched the Missouri game because I wanted to see them at their best, and I watched Mississippi State. I haven't watched Notre Dame yet, but I thought A&M's left tackle looked really good, left guard really good, center solid, and then right guard, right tackle solid. I'm excited to see the ends versus tackles on both teams because Nick Scorton is awesome and Braden Swinson is awesome. Mm-hmm. You're talking about 2 of the most disruptive edge defenders in the entire SEC. And then you have Will Campbell for LSU. And let me look up A&M's left tackle's name because he deserves to be mentioned by name.
Yeah. So pick wise for this game, I'm going LSU. I think advantage coach. I think advantage quarterback. I think they can handle that. I think Wigman will throw 2 picks. That's the difference.
Trey Zune, by the way, is Trey Zune the third is the left tackle. He's been really good. I
kind of have a feeling that this game could turn into, not obviously like I said this the other day, like LSU is not Georgia caliber defense, but they are improving. And Connor is so turnover prone. I would not be surprised if we get to a point in this game that we see Marcel Reed too. That would be interesting.
I mean, if you see Marcel Reed, that is the game out of reach, or do you think they would go before the game would be out of control?
I think they would go similar to Texas, Georgia last week. That's what I'm saying. It's very similar to me, where it's like, this guy is not mobile. He's not getting it done through the air. Let's fully commit to the run.
Akini Obi says Texas A&M has been great all season. Had one game with 200 O linemen. Stop the A&M hate. Again, I want to be, I'm trying to, and I felt like weird watching film all morning because objectively, I think A&M is a good team. I think LSU looks a little better. I think both are good. I think LSU looks a little better right now on film. Again, am I unable to separate my own bias from it? Perhaps. But I do think that's my objective opinion. That said, it's not by such a wide margin that I'm like, they're absolutely going to win because it's College Station at night, blackout game. Like the setting is going to be fucking unreal. And LSU's had a lot of problem with pre-snap penalties. Yeah. In fact, one of the craziest parts about this game, Aaron, that's maybe something to watch. Both of these teams dead even when it comes to penalties on the season. They commit the same per game. They committed the same overall. So who's ever more disciplined come Saturday, you're gonna that could go a long way towards determining the outcome. And frankly, LSU, I mean, it wasn't that loud in Fayetteville. Not like it's going to be in College Station. And I think they had like 7 or 8 procedure penalties last week. So they're going to have to get that. They're definitely going to have to get that. Definitely going to have to get that fixed. Okay. Do you want my prediction while you look at the spread?
The spread is 2.5. A&M's favored.
I think, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that would have LSU favored by what, like half a point on a neutral site? Is that how you always play that game? Home's worth like 3, maybe in this case, like even 3.5. Yeah. I can't get away from choosing LSU here. I think that they're playing too well right now, and I think the quarterback advantage is large. Maybe Connor Wigman shocks me. Maybe so.
Versus Missouri, he was 18 to 22, couple tuds.
Yeah, for 270. No, actually, no tuds, surprisingly, but like 278. No tuds, no picks though. Clean game, no 18 to 22 for like 278. Yeah.
Yes. To me, he's the wild card. I know what I'm going to get from LSU. I don't know what I'm going to get from Connor Wigman in this football game. That worries me.
Sportsfan says, TBob, I can guarantee you the blitz packages Elko brings will be wild. It sounds like he's talking about the playbook this week. From what I'm hearing, that would make sense to have, a couple wrinkles ready to go. Yeah. But somebody's got to prove to me that you can sack Garrett Nussmeier, because right now he's been sacked the least in the entire country. 2 sacks on the year. The only team that's less is actually Army. I think Army's given up 1 sack on the year.
Different offense, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Yeah, I mean,
they're not dropping it back 40 times plus
40 times a game, and he's been sacked twice. That's actually crazy. That's fucking crazy. So I can't wait. This is the good stuff. Bo says, T-Bob, I'm picking the Aggies the same amount of confidence you usually have. I get that. I mean, this is a coin flip, guys. Like, it is a coin wherever flip. You land on this.
Vegas has it as a coin flip. This is like I said, these are 2 teams that are very, very talented. These are 2 playoff caliber football teams, 2 teams that could still end up 10-2 when it's all said and done this season. No doubt about it. So
wait, but okay, that is something I wanted to look at real quick. Look at the remaining schedules. So A&M, if they win, they'll have no SEC losses. Then it's at South Carolina, New Mexico State, at Auburn, home against Texas. Yeah, that's fine though. You lose to Texas at home, you're still 7-1 in the SEC.
No.
That might put you in the playoff automatically or in the SEC championship.
Well, I think both these teams, the winner should feel really good about getting to Atlanta too.
Yes,
not just the playoffs, but Atlanta as well. I mean, South Carolina's gonna be tough next week, but I mean LSU. I love LSU at home versus Alabama, and then it's Florida, Vandy, Oklahoma.
Yeah. So not that LSU's a little rougher. That could get, but I mean, I'm just saying this is a better Vanderbilt team.
3 of the 4, but you get them at home though. You get Alabama at home.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So a little different than having to go to South Carolina and then having to play Texas.
Either way, it's going to be a great matchup. Bo says Scort and Turner and Stewart will sack Garrett. Yeah, I mean, look, the one thing I'd be worried about for both teams are their defensive weaknesses still lie in the secondary. I think that LSU may be a bit better positioned to take advantage of said weakness, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm picking Tigers. Aaron's picking Tigers. Don't love that. Kind of wish you would have picked the Aggies.
I was close. I was close. I was close until I watched the A&M film from
Mississippi
last
State
week.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Like,
classic, classic overlook kind of trap game. I'll give him some leeway there.
But that's 2 out of 3 games this year that he hasn't played well. So it's trending more towards him making mistakes and him playing good football.
All right. Next on the list, Mizzou at Alabama. And we'll talk about the game. I think the game's actually pretty obvious here. But think about, I want everybody to take a step back and really try to put yourself in Kalen DeBoer's shoes right now. I cannot fathom being Kalen DeBoer. This last month has to be one of the most confounding of his entire life. Like, he gets this job back in January, February, whenever it was. And he's under unbelievable pressure. Players are leaving. Ryan Williams is decommitting, all this sort of stuff. He holds the team together. Then he gets the number one. He starts to build the number one recruiting class in the entire country, which they still have, right? And so all of a sudden, people are like, oh, wait, he's going to do it. Like, he's going to pick up right where Nick Saban left off. And so this whole offseason was an ascent of I believe. And then it culminates in the Georgia win. And it's like, holy shit, dude. If Bama fans have got to be feeling like we're here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You thought we were dead. We're not going anywhere. And in the 3 weeks since then, it has been shattered. Like, it's not just gone down. The mystique of Alabama has been shattered. You lost 2 and damn near lost 3. And all of a sudden, Bama fans are having to wrestle with the fact that, oh, wait, we're still awesome, but we're not singular anymore. We're like these other contenders. We're in the fight, and it's very real that maybe we don't make it. And that is wild after 16 years of sustained national championship dominance. And I can't imagine how it feels to be Kalen DeBoer going from that Georgia climax to now the past 3 weeks and everything you're hearing about yourself.
Let's just strip away the A for a second and look at this football team for who they are this year. Where are they playing elite caliber football at the moment? This
right
entire
now,
season, besides Ryan Williams, I think the running game has been average. I think the offensive line play has been good. I think Jalen has far been under expectations this year. I mean, the game last week versus Tennessee was so erratic with the football. He looks banged. To me, he looks banged up.
So I was going to ask.
I was watching the game. I was like, this guy cannot be healthy because the throwing was as bad as I've seen it this year. There wasn't the burst that I'm used to seeing from him. They didn't run him as much either. I'm hoping that it's because he was banged up, because he looked like a shell of himself.
Well, and it's what you talked about, Aaron, where like you watch the South Florida game. Well, that was obvious. The O-line was god awful.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like, okay.
But they had backups. But yes.
No, I agree. But I'm saying in explaining why Jalen Milroe is struggling, that felt obvious. So your opinion is now you think that maybe he's playing hurt?
I think he's banged up.
Okay.
I mean, I watched the game live, and then I watched the coach's tape, and I'm watching him move, and I'm watching him throw, and I'm watching him run, and I'm like, this looks like a shell of the quarterback that I saw versus Georgia in that football game 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
a shell of the quarterback. I'm like, and I don't think it's a confidence thing. I truly believe that there could be something physically wrong with him. He did not look fast versus Tennessee, and Tennessee's defense is good, and I get that it was in Knoxville, and that team was swarming, but Jalen made Georgia's defense look slow. You remember I said that watching the game? I told you, Georgia looked slow as shit.
Yeah.
And that Jalen would run at defenders. He would run at Malachi and then run around Malachi like Malachi was a high school football player. I mean, he was on a different level. All of a sudden, Tennessee guys were hawking him down. I'm like, you don't see that much. So I don't know, man. I think he's a little dinged up.
Yeah, that would be as good interpretation as any, because I don't understand how he looks. What about this? I think this is definitely an element as well, and this is something that we knew entering this season. William Anthony says in the chat, he says, I'm not seeing the separation Bama's wide receivers normally got under Saban. The lack of weapons. I mean, there's only Ryan Williams. And I know Aaron's raising his hand for the audio listeners. He's been saying this all year.
I've been saying it all year. All these Alabama fans are on my ass about this, but it is Ryan Williams. That is it.
Yeah.
That is it. And it was no one last year. It was no one the year before. You get Ryan Williams. Congratulations. Thank God he decided to early enroll and forego his senior season.
Well, good for him as well, because otherwise he'd be at Auburn. And he was thinking
No,
about
I
going
get
to
it.
Auburn.
100%. Like, good for him. But I'm just saying, like, what if this kid decided to stay for his senior year of high school? How bad would this offense be? They do not have
Yeah.
playmakers on the outside besides Ryan Williams. And the
Yeah.
running game is not going either, besides Jalen when he gets his legs going. So
That's what I'm kind of disappointed
I
in.
am too.
Knowing Kalen DeBoer's system and being like, okay, he's very good offensive coach. Where am I strong? Where am I not? I'm surprised that they don't run jam and justice more and try to lean on that more.
I think they have to this game. I mean,
They become very Jalen centric, and I think his body's breaking down because of it.
I agree. I think this is a game where jam and justice have to put the team on their back and just say, because when they do commit, it's like Georgia last week. Like, when they do commit to the run, they can bully people, and they, for some reason, they get away from it at times and want to spread you out. And I guess maybe Jalen's a little bit more comfortable in that system. But I think this is a game where you shorten it up, you run at Missouri, you try and beat them up, and then you just you play old school Alabama football.
So Zach in the chat hits a question that I actually just wrote down in my paper next to me, which is how much of this is Ryan Grubb? Because that was DeBoer's like brother in arms. They were tight. And they knew each other. I mean, he took pay cuts to keep Grubb around. They knew each other inside and out. I know Hester talked about this a lot in the offseason. He was very intrigued to see what DeBoer would look like without Grubb.
But he doesn't have the same players that he did at Washington.
I guess you're also missing 3 NFL receivers.
You're missing 3 NFL receivers, and you're missing a quarterback that is a passer. Penix is a passer. Jalen was hoping that he would develop like that. And I saw signs of the development early on the season. It has regressed significantly over the past couple of weeks.
People keep saying 3 years of Milrose starting. Is that true? I know he started a couple games 3 years ago, right? But this is only the second year starting.
Second year. Do you remember he was in the quarterback battle?
No, I remember. I remember. I'm just making sure.
2022, and then he had 53 pass attempts and 31 rushes.
It's still his second year, but whatever. I mean, I don't. It's tough. He seems to be going through it right now. Okay, but let's talk about the game then. That's kind of a state of the union in Alabama. I think Alabama's going to win. I don't think Mizzou's good, dude.
I don't either, but I think Alabama's DBs are some of the worst in the conference.
Bro, Mizzou can't throw though. Watch that A&M film, and maybe that's me seeing them at their worst. So that's bad on me.
At their worst.
But their worst was pretty fucking god awful. And now they're going to be on the road in Bryant-Denny.
I'm telling you, I am flabbergasted with how bad Alabama's DBs are. I mean, Nico, if I was at Tennessee last week playing quarterback right now at 33 years old, I would have thrown for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. Guys are wide open. It's been like that the entire season. These DBs are tripping over themselves. If you run at them, they stutter their feet and they just fall over. It is some of the worst.
You're talking about Alabama?
I'm talking about Alabama. Watch it. They were falling over each other. Guys were running wide open. Nico either didn't see him, and then obviously, as we all talked about, he was overthrowing them by 4 or 5 yards. They are that bad. So can it finally come together for Brady Cook, who somehow got some magical juice in the hospital a week ago, came back and led his team to victory because they still got dudes. They still got Theo. They got Luther. They got Mookie. They got some good tight ends. I'm telling you, this Alabama defensive backfield is so bad.
But why hasn't it clicked? Why hasn't it clicked yet? I mean,
I don't know. It's weird.
Brady Cook's played Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, Vandy, A&M, Massachusetts, and Auburn, and has awful stats.
I know.
And against Auburn, he would drop back and just look completely confused. When he would throw the ball, they weren't pretty. They were kind of duckish.
I know.
Like it.
I don't think this is the game where it's going to magically come out being on the road. So I'm with you. I'm just saying that, like, if there is any sort of, I'm a Missouri fan, we can win this football game. How are we going to do it? There's 2 keys. One, if Jalen's banged up or not banged up, if you limit him running the football, we've seen he's still not a great passer, and he is their offense at the moment. So I would still give up a couple of explosive plays to Ryan to know that I'm going to force Jalen to be a passer and not a runner, because then I think that's a huge advantage for Missouri defensively. Then offensively, can you actually hit a couple shots? I mean, going back to A&M game, they had the one penalty that cost them the one long one to Luther in the first quarter.
Yeah,
not saying that would have changed the game.
touchdown.
I mean, A&M played out of their mind that day, but
also,
you have to take some shots
that was not a hard throw. I mean, Luther Burden did not have anybody within 15 yards of him.
Nico also didn't have guys within 10 yards of some of his receivers a week ago. I mean, that is how open you can get against these Alabama's defensive backs. So you have to hit your shots. You got to hit your shots.
I mean, it is a golden ticket opportunity for Mizzou.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have been very unconvincing, but they sit here with only one loss, right? Like the world is still their oyster. They got a friendly schedule. You find a way to win this, you're back. Like, you are so fully back. But if you're telling me, yeah, it's easy, right? Or no?
No, it's this is their finishing. This is their schedule finishing off: Oklahoma, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Arkansas.
Oh, okay. That's a little harder than I would have thought at the beginning of the year. That felt easier coming in, I'd say, actually.
Why? Because of South Carolina?
Well, yes. Oklahoma's garbage. That's fine. But also Arkansas. I still think Arkansas is kind of frisky.
I think Arkansas is very frisky. I agree. And it's a rivalry game. I like Arkansas a lot. Mississippi State's got their shit together too right now on offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even Mississippi State's at least trending in the right direction. Yeah. So that's not as easy as I would have thought, especially not because Mizzou's looked fallible.
But if you go in the Tuscaloosa and win, I think you start feeling like, okay, this
that's
team
true.
Can do it.
That's true. I would say, though, I'm not going to overthink it. Jalen Milroe's been bad. Brady Cook's been bad. Both are maybe somewhat injured. I'll still take an injured bad Milroe over an injured bad Cook, especially in Bryant Denny. Give me Alabama.
Yeah. Alabama, just run the damn ball. Just run the damn football. I think that's all they got to do. Just run the football. That you win.
Now you sound like the Alabama message boards just come to life.
Yeah,
they've been saying that for years. They used to always say that under.
But then I guarantee. I guarantee you, if Alabama wins this game, 17-10, fans will be bitching that it wasn't sexy enough. So
I'm laughing. I mean, no, that's just fans. That's college football message boards are the fucking best.
Awesome.
All right. Next up on this list, Texas at Vanderbilt. If we lived in a perfect world, Aaron Murray, Vandy would follow up on their momentum and beat a shell-shocked Texas.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't think this is going to happen.
No.
I think Vandy's really good. I think they still have to battle every Saturday, though. Whereas Texas has shown when they face lesser opponents, which Vandy is not near, they're still better than any other team they faced outside of last week. But Texas, when they've been up against lesser opponents, they have been dominant. And the thing that I can't get away from is what you talked about yesterday, Aaron, which is this Texas defense still looks to be actually pretty elite.
Yeah. And Texas has two advantages heading into this game in the sense of mindset-wise. One, Vandy beat Alabama. So we all know Vandy's for real this year.
Yeah, you're not catching him by surprise.
You're not catching him by surprise. It's not a noon kickoff, or would be 11 o'clock kickoff in the morning. So that's two. So I guess there's three. And then
when's the kickoff?
4:15
okay.
Eastern, 3:50. Yeah. And then three, they just lost to Georgia. So the reverse, like Alabama beat Georgia. Yeah. You're on this incredible high. You're going to Vandy. So you're like, oh, we're just going to keep this thing going. And then bam, you get smacked in the mouth. And then Vanderbilt ends up winning the football game. Texas has all of that to essentially get their mind focused on redemption. How do we redeem ourselves from looking horrendous on offense a week ago? Let's go into Vandy and do it. So I think the major key in this game, how did Vanderbilt beat Alabama? Because Alabama's offense had a really good day of football. It was all possession. Let's not forget, it was 42 minutes of possession for Vanderbilt, 18 minutes of possession for Alabama.
Yeah.
So if Vanderbilt does want to win this football game, you have to duplicate those exact numbers. It has to be a 40-20 split. And I just don't see it happening because Texas's defense is far better than Alabama's defense. I think Texas's offense is better than Alabama's offense. Texas, to me, is still one of the best teams in the country. They had a bad day against Georgia, who was as hungry as I've seen them play in years. It was just a bad day at the office.
Also, I think yours Georgia's still like, Georgia's still Georgia, right?
Yeah.
That's a trap we all fell into, was maybe getting a little too a little too over our skis with declaring Georgia more normal. I mean, they still have as good a top 3 roster in the entire country, right? But if we talk about this game, we have to talk about Diego Pavia, who continues to be awesome. He's completing 66% of his passes. He's throwing for 200 yards a game. He's rushing for an additional 67. That's obviously, after sacks. So it's actually more than that. He's averaging 9 yards a attempt, 11 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Aaron, would you say he's one of the more fun,
he's
one of the more fun players in the entire country?
Yeah, I think he may be the most exciting player in the SEC right now, especially because he's doing it at Vandy. But the offense is awesome. I mean, they do so much triple option S type schematics where it really forces defenses to struggle because you only have a week to prepare for it. I mean, why do teams struggle against Army and Navy? It's because those teams run that offense every single week. They're the best at it, and you only get 1 week to prepare for it. And for Texas, the one disadvantage of playing Georgia a week ago was the fact that you probably got banged up a little bit. I mean, that's a physical football game that you had to play for 4 quarters. And now you have to go to a team that's going to mentally challenge you to take advantage of the fact that they're maybe not as talented in a lot of the spots as you are there at Texas. So that's difficult to master in a week. And right now, Vanderbilt is executing this offense at a very high level.
Aaron, how much pressure is on Quinn Ewers here? Because last week was a disaster. He actually gets benched. I don't care what Sark says. And I know we talked about yesterday how, he got benched, but Arch didn't do anything. So it's like clearly still Quinn. But then yesterday you had somebody from, was it 247?
That was someone they got hacked.
Oh, they got hacked.
Yes.
Because they had nearly 1 million followers, and there was a graphic saying Quinn Ewers is going to sit out, prepare for the NFL draft. He didn't do Monday press, which they normally do. And now Quinn since come out and he's posted Donald Trump saying fake news, so like he's engaged with it. But my point is, this is all representative of the fallout that we said would happen when Sark made that decision, because you just poured gasoline on a situation that you thought was kind of over and done with. How much pressure's on Quinn Ewers to go out there and clearly assert himself as the man?
I think he needs to start fast. I think if I'm Sark, I'm scripting my first 10 or 15 plays to I know Quinn is going to go 7 for 9 for 70 yards and maybe a touchdown. You have to script every one of his favorites. Go down the menu of Quinn. This is what he's done for the past 3 years. These are the type of plays that he executes at a high level. Maybe if they're not the best schematically against what Vandy's doing, just get him to see the field, play fast, get the ball out of his hands, get completions, and just build the confidence, because it's been 2 weeks of slow play, turnovers, Oklahoma turnover, Georgia turnovers. And right now he just needs to get off to a fast start, because I guarantee you, if it's a slow start for Texas, to say hey, Texas goes 3 and out, Vanderbilt has a 7-minute drive, then all of a sudden Quinn starts feeling like he has to press.
Yeah.
And then I think he starts.
And then he throws a pick because he's pressing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit,
he starts thinking about it. It's to me, Quinn has to get off to a fast start for his sake, and for obviously the sake of the football team, because he's your quarterback.
Ooh, so John says Ewers does not look good since returning. Vandy's probably a good defense for him to get back in rhythm, potentially. Sportsfan says Quinn has now been terrible in first halves against OU and Georgia. It's a trend. Expect a slow first half versus Vandy. Vandy goes in a half with a lead. That would be so hot if Vandy went in with a lead over Texas, dude. I mean, are you kidding me? The college internet world would be electric if that was the case.
Vandy 14th in the SEC, giving up 250 yards passing per game.
That ain't good. No, Aaron, it's just because they're so good that they're playing with a lead. So other teams are having to try to throw their way back in, bro.
Slowly getting
how and then I think you nailed it earlier. I just want to see how Texas is going to respond. This year's been awesome because we've had all the big dogs lose, basically. And so we're starting to see more and more. How do you respond to adversity?
Yeah.
UGA maybe didn't have the best interim performances, but then when they got to their next big test, they passed it with flying colors. Alabama's not responded well. Ole Miss did not respond well. So let's see what Texas can do. That said, I do have Texas in this game.
Yeah, I do too. 18 points though.
That 18 seems like a trap. That feels like I'm supposed to jump at Vandy plus 18.
18 and a half.
I think I'd actually take Texas just to do the opposite of what my instincts would be. Because I feel like they're laying a trap for me to instinctually be like, oh, well, of course you go Vandy. It's fucking 18 and a half.
I think Texas's defense is that good. I really believe Texas defense is that good. I think they'll be ready. I think there won't be this massive advantage time of possession for Vanderbilt. They'll probably have it. It may be like a 34-26 type of game, which is fine. But I think Texas defense is that good where they'll be ready to hunt. They'll be able to stop Pavia, and Texas wins. So, and I would say Texas lays those 18.5 too.
Just remember, for all my Vandy fans holding it down in Nashville, if a call doesn't go your way, just start throwing shit on the field.
Hell
okay,
yeah.
They'll probably change it and give it to you.
What do you think the split is for fans in this game? Do you think Vandy gets 25%? 25%?
What? You don't even think it's gonna be like 50-50? You
No.
think Texas gonna smash like that?
Yes.
You probably got a bunch of Austin transplants living in Nashville anyway.
Probably.
The similarities between Austin people and Nashville people, I mean, that Venn diagram might as well be a circle. With how similar I feel like both those places are outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Pavia. Is it Pavia or Pavia? Now you've got me uncomfortable.
Pavia.
It's not Pavia?
Pavia.
I can't tell if you're not really answering. You're just saying it up again.
Pavia.
That's how you would pronounce it in the booth. You would say Pavia?
Yes.
So it's not Pavia. So I've been saying it wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, no idea.
Let's go.
Zero.
Let's go.
No
Okay, chat seems to agree with me. All right, so we think Texas wins.
Pavia.
Coming up next, go to the Big Ten. Nebraska at Ohio State. And I fucking hate this. This is an awful spot for Nebraska. Back-to-back conference road games against two of the best teams in the league. You just got absolutely demolished by Indiana. Now you have an Ohio State team that doesn't actually execute at as high in a level as does Indiana, but is orders of magnitude more talented. And they're pissed off about losing to Oregon barely on the road last weekend. They're going to want a statement. I don't know how Nebraska moves the ball here, right? Like they don't have any weapons. They can't run it particularly well. No, I don't think Nebraska's ready for this, dude. I mean, they can't get any separation. What are their wide receivers? What are they going to do? How does Dylan Raiola find any avenue to success in this game?
None. Zero. Zilch.
It's just impossible.
No. Even if Ohio State's come off a bye week too. So I mean,
has it been 2 weeks since they lost to Oregon?
It's been 2 weeks since they've lost to Oregon.
What? That wasn't last week?
No.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nebraska's really fucked.
Yes. The only thing that I want to walk out for this game is what does Ohio State's offensive line look like? So their starting tackle, left tackle, Josh Simmons, is out for the season, torn ACL. So he was per Mel Kiper projected top first round draft pick somewhere in the mid-20s, and he's out. And this was already heading to the season, a position group that we feared could hold Ohio State back from being a contender. Nebraska still has a good defensive line. So how does Ohio State's offensive line hold up against them? Is really to me, that's the only thing I'm watching, because I'm with you. To think Nebraska is going to move the football against Ohio State is silly. I think this is, to me, especially since the last time Ohio State played, they got punked by Oregon, and we all know how good Ohio State's defense is. That is a very talented. So those dudes are going to come out pissed. They're going to come out determined after a bye week to make a statement that what happened 2 weeks ago was fluky. and we're going to go out there and put less than 10 points. I'd be surprised if Nebraska scores double digits.
No, I'm with you. I think Ohio State, the points they gave up against Oregon, I think that was more about Oregon than it was Ohio State. Like, Ohio State is still going to be dominant over 95% of college offenses. That's an Oregon offense with a good O-line, and whatever early wobbles Oregon had, like obviously Dylan Gabriel and those receivers have kind of found themselves and are getting over them. So, again, it just all comes down to that matchup. How is Nebraska going to score? And even if, like I said, I don't think the Ohio State offense executes at as high of a level as in Indiana. I really don't. But they will overwhelm this Nebraska defense eventually. Maybe Nebraska holds the line early and puts up like a valiant performance, but I do not see the world in which they manage to come away with a win here. And it's like, so to go back to our spot conversation, they would already be the underdog on paper if they were at home at night coming off of a bye in Lincoln. Instead, they're away at night with Ohio State coming off of a bye and them just getting their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Bad spot for Nebraska.
I just want to see how Ohio State responds, O-line, overall defense from that loss against Oregon, because they got to clean up. They got to get ready for Penn State next week. I mean, that's going to be a massive matchup between those two teams in a week from now. So just want to see those guys look efficient on that side of the football. 25.5 point favorite at home, and I would take that. I would lay it too.
25.5. No, I can't lay 25.5 against my corn hub, dude.
What do you realistically think the score of the game is going to be? They just gave up 56 points to Indiana. It was 56-7.
I think it's going to be like 35-7 probably.
I could see that. So
they'd cover.
Yeah. They would lay the points, right?
Yeah, no, they would cover the points there, right? Is our math? Yeah, our math's on. Yeah, that's 28 points. Yeah, easy. Look at us.
Easy.
Thank you, Scott. But it's not my birthday. You're trolling in the chat. He said, Scott, everybody wished TBob a happy birthday, and some people did. Thank you. That's very kind. Oh, because he said I'm losing track of my weeks and months. I mean, that is true. Remember, guys, I thought I was 36. I just discovered again that I'm 35, which is an awesome fucking feeling to get a year back of your life just in one quick moment. Oh, felt good.
I don't like this whole is Rayola gonna leave after this year? I think Rayola's a Cornhusker through and through.
Yeah, no, he's not leaving, dude. Rayola and Matt Rule are biffles. They're SpongeBob and Patrick. They are joined at the hip. They're going to make this thing work or crash and burn together. And I think they're going to make it work. I think they're going to make it work eventually. I think they're just.
You look at their back end. You look at the back end of their schedule. I mean, this is still a potential 8-win football team. I mean,
that's all they needed. That's the goal. 8-4.
There was a goal from the very beginning. You got after this game, you'll be 5-3. You have UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, Iowa. Very doable down the stretch.
Very doable. Iowa, not the Iowa we're used to. USC, I mean, who the fuck knows?
Who knows? Damn good 3-4 football team.
Wisconsin's interesting. I haven't thought about or paid attention to Wisconsin in a long time, but I was about to say they're getting better, right? Like, aren't they continuing to win kind of in the background of college football?
5-2, 3-1 in the conference.
Okay.
They got Penn State this week, so I guess we'll figure out what they really are this weekend.
Shit, should we have previewed Wisconsin, Penn State? I mean, I guess I don't know much about it. They're in Madison, though. Jump around. Is this where James Franklin becomes James Franklin? I mean, Wisconsin. Okay, hold up now. So ever since losing to USC, wait, and they got their ass kicked by Alabama this year? Yeah. Or is that last year? No, it was this year.
Jeez, you really are losing it.
Shut up, dude.
That's when their starting quarterback got hurt versus Alabama.
Too much weed, too much CTE. Why do you have an Alabama polo on? That's an A on it.
That's not Alabama.
What is that?
It's Ansley.
Oh, is it like a golf course?
It is a golf course.
The Ansley course. What a pretentious name.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin beat Rutgers 42-7 in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Purdue 52-6. Beat Northwestern 23-3. They've won their last 3 games. Okay. What's 94 plus 23? 117. So they've won their last 3 games 117-16. Pretty good.
Look at that offense is rolling.
Yeah, look, Sports at CT made me forget I was married. I don't blame you. Thank you. Thank you. Too much weed in CT. It's not my fault. All right. And then the last one, a classic Big Ten battle here. Illinois, Oregon. Just like we had it all drawn up before the season. 7-0 Oregon against 6-1 Illinois. Beautiful matchup here. Oh, wait, what's the spread real quick on the oh, wait, no, we did that. I'm getting confused by Wisconsin. Sorry. What's wild to me, Aaron, I thought Illinois beating Michigan was one of the absolute locks last week. Like the fact that Illinois was an underdog at home against that Michigan team was shocking, and they went and proved it. The problem is Illinois has not faced an offense like this.
No.
So they've played Eastern Illinois, Kansas, Central Michigan, Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue, and Michigan.
And Purdue put up 49 against
49. Yeah.
Purdue's bad. No, I think Oregon has gone over the hump. Let's just be honest. Oregon started off very slow. Oregon has now since hit their stride. Oregon beat Ohio State 32-31. They beat Purdue 35-0. They're playing the type of football that we know Oregon can play. So I think this is a team that is now extremely confident. They're the number one team in the country. I think Dan Lanning is feeling himself right now. So I don't think this is and it's in Eugene too. So
yeah. I mean, game in Austin is just massive here. Not the least of which because I haven't updated the record in a couple of weeks, but Big Ten teams traveling multiple time zones has not gone well for the away teams this year. And so if you're already the worst team and you got to travel and you have an Oregon team did Oregon have a bye last week as well?
No, they beat Purdue 35-0. They played Friday night.
Oh, wow. So they went ahead and followed up their Ohio State win with a dominant shutout V. Ooh, Illinois is in trouble. You know what, though? I still want to give massive credit to Illinois because Bert's got the boys playing very well. Luke Altmaier, I thought he sucked last year. He's been fantastic this year. And how good were those uniforms last week? I thought those were fantastic, especially because you're Illinois. You're honoring your surprisingly awesome kind of ancient history. You're a very blue collar workman-like team, and you're going to rock the leather helmets and those nasty old jerseys. I thought those were sick, dude.
You know what's interesting with Illinois too? This is a team that if you lose this game or win, we anticipate your two losses this year will be to Penn State and Oregon, both on the road. And then going forward, you have Minnesota, Michigan State, Rutgers, Northwestern. This is
whoa.
This is a very
playoffs
for Illinois team right now with that remaining schedule. So I think you have to make it in the eyes of the committee, maybe make it somewhat entertaining for part of the game. I think that's their key. I don't think you have to win it, obviously, but 10-2 Illinois with their two losses against two teams that are in the top 5 is still a playoff team if they find a way to should win the last 4 games of the season.
In a weird roundabout way, would they ding them though for not, like, let's say, Oregon, like you said, I think competitive matters because if Oregon blows them out, I guess Penn State didn't blow them out. I mean, it was 21-7. It was hard fought. Damn, Bielema. That man just needed to be in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Never needed to come over to Arkansas. Never forget Brett Bielema, Fat King, hot wife, gut hanging all the way out. Like on the list of coaches I'd want to smoke and drink with, Brett Bielema is, I think we did that list one time, and I think Bert might have come in at 2 or 3. He was definitely up there. Yeah, Pittman would be great to have a beer with for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, Oregon,
too good.
Oregon smashes.
Too confident. Yeah,
Oregon smashes.
This is golly, there's some big ass spreads for some of these games. 21.5. I think I lean Illinois.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm just going to go with my gut here, and I'm going to trust Illinois and that defense and their ability to kind of slow it down to keep that within striking distance. What was it? Wisconsin? Give me the Wisconsin spread real quick. That's what chat was asking for earlier.
25.5, I believe.
What?
Or Wisconsin? No, sorry.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Penn State is 6.5 Penn State.
Oh, well. Look at the Badgers, dude. Where's that game being played? Oh, it's in Madison, we
It's
said.
in Madison.
I would take Penn State.
I would take Penn
State. to cover that number. In fact, I might take that bet. But still, good on him. All right. I think that does it for today's previews. Hope you all enjoyed it. Sin Hotlanta says this feels so much like 2007. Anything is possible. Yeah. What's going to be interesting over time is this a one-off or is this a function of the 12-team playoff? It's something we won't fully know till we have a couple of years of data, but I'm excited nonetheless. I am TBob Preview. He's Aaron Murray. This is Snaps. Please, guys, hit the like button, subscribe, share with all your friends and enemies and girlfriends and boyfriends and your boyfriend's girlfriend and your girlfriend's boyfriend
and your mom,
and your mom. Share with your moms. Maybe your moms love college football and they don't know. You still on that 40K, TBob? I have not played 40K in a minute.